Testing, testing.
Roaches on the wall, whole blunt, send a ass straight line to me, bitch. I'm gon' lie when you ask me, you wanna be involved. I don't want this pain at all. I don't need to say shit to you, my face gon' say it all. Frequent and macho, hold my breath. Smoke fast, so fresh to death. Thank God for every breath. Used to know, still I.
Yeah. 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 Let's go. Let's go. 7-11 shit. Sending no habit. One body, 2 D3 missing 4 sticks hit. Now you red is dead. I'm on my Jack Black shit. This every done shit. I keep this Mac on. Yeah, CJB2 up. Your back. Stone love all the time, still slap. Ain't shit darker. I'm facing the water on E5D, Omo Imam. Assalamu alaikum, Mullah Assalam. Draw, PNP, I'll have shit, everything great. It's mighty like stripping shit. I got my ties, it's gonna be okay. We try to teach these niggas, they try to lead the way. Fuck your big homie and chief. I'm a beast. I'm the beast with the blind dreads. 4 arms, 4 legs, 7 all his. Eat me brains. Y'all praise my God when y'all said, I trailblazed this and it's amazing. I gave him and Japheth, I returned virtue to in that bridge and made the cross. And my mama named Abraham. I come from the guys, I'm beyond flesh and water, straight out the dam. They gon' be overwhelmed when they find out my brother, they uncle.
Testing, testing. Wow. It took me long enough to get the technical difficulties. I'm live now. Wow, that's crazy. I cannot believe it, man. We too far in the game to be having these type of problems, man. But I'm live, man. I'm finna go on with my video. For real, bro. But I'm up late night. I'm sorry. So what I'm gonna do, let me just see what it sound like, at least. Myself. Wow, come on. Let me see what it sound like. I don't hear no sound. Nothing. I don't hear no sound. Too far. All right, I got it. I'm ready. I'm ready. So let me get to the business. I'm definitely ready. Sorry for that. But I gotta come in how I come in, you know. It is what it is. Ain't nobody perfect. And that's the beauty of these live streams we do. You know, not being perfect is even good content. So I wanna go straight in on the Moors, and I wanna go straight in on some research that I gotta talk about, you know, in Africa. But I want Africa first. I definitely want to start with Africa first. Because it's a dirty game out here. And the fact that it took hundreds of years for the people to even get to this point is proof it's a dirty game of slavery. You know what I'm saying? It's a dirty game of slavery. It's a dirty game of slavery. So Africa, freak, the spirit of horror, something, terrifying. Frito, the tremoring, the shivering, the shivering. Freak, Africa. It goes back to Greek translation of how they encountered the African continent of Fraiki, Freaky, Freaky. You see that? Is the word is freaky. It's the same, and it means horror, a freak. You feel what I'm saying? It means freak. Now let's go into the civilizers definition. The civilizers. And then we're gonna come back to the Greek, which would be the first real adversarial or student interpretation. Let me get some audio. Let me hear something. All right, there we go. That's much better. So I'm gonna focus on this and then get back to Simon Bolivar and more African. But let's go to the Moors. Let's just do a shout out to the Moors right quick. For any more out there who think that any more out there that think that I'm just pro Aboriginal and I'm not for the Moors or whatever. No, I've never been with the Moors. And I don't know how people can get me misconstrued with making mistakes like that when we know about etymology. I'm not the Moors. So we might use it for short for who we represent as Moorish American, but I don't represent everybody who say they are Moor. I don't represent everybody who say they are Moor. I use it differently. I use it as American. If I'm a Moor as American, In America, I'm gonna use it where I can find it in America. I'm not gonna look for more outside of America. I'm not gonna look for Islam outside America. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not. You feel me? I'm a more from America, so they try to find more outside of America to get out, and I'm not. I'm from here. So what I want to do with the title, the reason we don't see that many more channels is just give a briefing on the YouTube Moors, and I'm gonna talk about Moors in general. So let's just pull up YouTube Moors, who we can think of. Any YouTube Moors. Let's go with the founding father, Taj Tariq Bey, and I'm gonna cover some other Moors too that's on YouTube. I'm gonna pull up about 3, 4 Moors, and then we going straight in on the Africa and Simon Bolivar, Taj Tariq Bey. Now, Taj Tariq Bey, he still got his little run, and this probably be the last video I do on this. So people won't be accusing me of being a pro Aboriginal and not more enough, because I'm Moorish American. I'm gonna always be Moorish American. That's my nationality, but I'm indigenous. So the reason why you don't see a lot of Moors on YouTube is because we have opened the floodgates for information on the knowledge that they succumb to out of popular recognition and brainwash and popular recognition. Now, Taj Tariq Bey has already got put on blast by Fuqua Bay of Detroit 2019 for teaching historical Moorisms and idealisms in America. Stuff that happened in Spain with Morocco Kingdom or Arabia and Turkey, Constantinople, stuff that happened over there. Taj Tariq Bey is trying to enforce it over here. Okay, let me see if I'm sharing the screen. Am I sharing the screen? Because it don't appear. Yeah, that don't make no sense. I'm sharing the screen right. Yes. Let's go back. So Taj Tariq Bey falls under the I self law and master sovereign. I have an island into myself. I'm outside the government type movement. And the Moorish American Constitution says some otherwise. Fuqua Bay let them know that's historical more information you're teaching, and we're Americans. We're a part and partial of the said government taking our place in the affairs of men. We're all Moorish Americans in that sense. We're Americans. We're not just Moors. So now you have these guys who are just Moors and sovereign and pushing for a similar movement like blacks. And we don't want our Moorish American Moorish Science Temple from the smallest youth, female, the most uh primary to the most advanced. We don't want our movement mixed up with people who trying to switch it up. See, I keep it simple. I'm not gonna call names and go that deep. I'm just gonna say people who attempt to switch up what the prophet brought in the instructions on how to better yourself and help the national divine movement, and those who try to do things on their own. So Sabir Bey and Taj Tariq has always had a motive and a image in the Moorish American community until I came along. Until PNF came along as the first Moorish American to question Taj Tariq Bey in its entirety. But Moorish World TV, Taharka Bey, he does a really good job. So let's get him his shine. So he's on YouTube as well, Taharka Bey. So I'm gonna go to, like I say, at least 5 more. So Taharka Bey, whether you like him or not, he will expose those scamming. He does a really good job, and he's out of Baltimore, and he's Ali's man. So he would be more on the fundamental. I mean, more on the, I want to say extreme side, not fundamental, because he's more religious than anything. He's more religious, but he is into justice as well because he brings people to justice. So he's on YouTube, and I'm saying the reason why you don't see a lot of Moors on YouTube because he's just one. So how many more do you have besides Taharka Bey? And go check him out. Cause like I say, no matter what, I'm showing love to any more first Aboriginals. That's two. Cause we got Taj Tariq Bay. Now let's go to Sabir Bay. Sabir Bay also teaches. He teaches the historical Moors and the African Moors. He doesn't teach the indigenous Aboriginal Moors like us, and he get caught up in the same crowd as Pan Africans, Lenas, because we know Mazuru or Mazir, Egypt, Grand Egypt, on the Nile was a multi ethnic civilization. It wasn't just a black civilization, even though we did have once upon a time worship of black. Now, Taj Tariq Bey do know about aboriginality. I'm not gonna slander the man and act like he don't know. But his Moors, Isop Law and Master is not the same as instructed by Noble Drew Ali. We already done went through this. So who's the fourth Moor? Let's go to IMAH Temple. IMAH Temple. Let's see if he's still around. Okay, he's not around. I am hip hop. I am hip hop. Moorish Temple. See if he's still around. If he ain't, he ain't. I don't see him though. Let's see if he on YouTube. The brother IMHH. IMAHH. Oh yeah, he's definitely on YouTube. He got to be on YouTube. Nowhere. I don't know what that just been. That's crazy. Alright. IMAAH Temple. I forgot, but it's simple Moorish. Let's say Moorish. Moorish. Here you go, right here. He got videos. He's still doing videos 3 weeks ago. That more the hip hop temple. That more at the hip hop temple. So he's still popping. And I respect him because he question Moors and keep it spiritual. If you ain't gonna do nothing, you're gonna keep it spiritual. And I'm coming back with the research. I don't believe that, yo. I just got to get my mind right and my health right. That's why I haven't been going on my mainstream channel. But I definitely got to get my health and my mind right for real. You got to have your mind right for this more science. So he's going, and that's full. Now let's go to Cannon Land Moors. Cannon Land Moors. I didn't know this Moor right here was still going. Cannon Land Moors led by Cujo Bay. Right, I don't want to sub to him on this channel. Let's go to the other channel. Matter of fact, this is my Moorish channel. But they all right. I can't. Hold on. I can't because of the algorithm. It's going to get them on. But it's an affiliate channel. It don't matter. I forgot any channel you affiliated with, they tracking you. I just took the YouTube copyright course because I got a strike. So that's how I found out they track all your channels. They know all your channels. Okay. Can't lie more. Why did I just do that? Wow. Canaan Land Moors, Cujo. Let's give Miss props. I love giving Moors Day props because they come with that info that everybody siphon from. All of the Moors across the board, whether you like them or not, Moorish Americans come with the fire. So Canaan Land Moors been around for a minute. 2008. So that's killing the game right there. That's automatically killing the game. Anybody been around that long is been in the game. So that's like 5 Moors. And the fact that That's all we got. It's troubling. That's pretty much troubling. And we obviously have shadow ban and aka uh we got shadow ban. Go subscribe to shadow ban and see what he got popping. Okay. So that's number 6. That's 6 Moors, but D Calico don't fall under those Moors I just put you up under. Even though Abdullah Bey, who was a extremist, and he's been extreme. He's been on the African side, more African side. Calico don't fall under the more that I just showed y'all. He is not under Taj Tariq Bey, none of them. He might listen and learn from them, but he don't fall under them because he's more into the mysticism. Yeah, he deal with etymology, but he deals with mysticism. And what I mean by that is mysticism is opening your mind, that you're never gonna be closed-minded. When you're into mysticism, you are open to the possibilities that you don't know, so you're not going to be closed-minded. So D Calico is different from all those other Moors I showed you. He's ascended more. He's ascended. But I'm showing you D Calico because he's a Moor on YouTube. Now, the other people that I showed you has their purpose. And we can say Elaine Bay. I think Eileen Bay also be on YouTube. That's how many Moors is that? Now, Taj Tariq Bey and Sabir Bey don't count because they have information that you can, match up with history, but they are not Aborigine. I see Asuru Alim El Bey is Aborigine because he pushed Washita. He pushed Washita. He keep it American, and some of the type of stuff I learned from him is like, how could I put it? It's like you learn something. You learn something when you go to Asaru Alim Bey, and that's why I have not done a lot of videos on him. The only video I did on Asaru Alim Bey is if his medicine worked, why he haven't cured his blood, his eyes. That's a worthy question because he wear glasses. You can see his eyes, and I'm like, okay, you got all these herbs, why you can't cure your eyes? You feel me? That's a good question. He's a Moor. You got all of this stuff. Go ahead and kill your eyes. But other than that, he got good information. But that's 7 Moors on YouTube I name. And myself, that's 8. That's 8 that I know that's popping. That you can go to their channel. And that's also another brother who do consultations. The brother, he's a Bay. I forget his name. I'm subscribed to him, and I can't even say his name right quick. It's wow, how I don't know this brother. Wow. It's wow, how I don't know this brother name. Wow. But anyway, let's get out of here. Let's get into the video. That's 8 Moors I know I named, including me. That's 8. So when I say 8 Moorish Americans or Moors, then you got a Hanu Kiel. Let's put him up here. I'm gonna put him up here just because he say he's a Moorish American. I'll talk to this one. I'm gonna put him up here, and we might can get to 10 before I'm done. We got A1. I'm not subscribed to A1. What the hell? We got A1 who's more, or Emaru, that's 9. But you cannot convince me that that's enough for millions of people. Millions of people. That's only 9 people I just named, and we're gonna move on. For anybody out here who realized what I just did, that's not enough, and I don't want to make this the majority of the video. I'm just shedding light on it. Why it's not enough hate in the world. It's not enough hate, or should I say, like, it's too much. It's so much love in the world to give. We don't need hate. So I don't have ill intentions against any of these Moors I just named, if I agree or not, but 9 people is not enough. It's so much money and finance and love out here. We need more. So that's not enough. 9 people. So I can't argue with them. I'll be wasting my time arguing with any of them, even though the reason why we don't see a lot of Moors on YouTube right now is because Taj Tariq Bayites similar followings of sovereignty or filings or IRS filings that has not given the true remedy. Oh, Asir Ducateers is number 10. And he's number 10. That's amazing how he got that number because that's like a number for God. Asir Ducateers, that's crazy. And that pretty much ends it because I don't know any more Moors besides Asir Ducateers. And I'll just say that I take that back. He's number 9, and we're gonna go with Moors in America and give them number 10 because their brother Sharif Ali is a good Moor. Moors in America. This brother right here, he don't really skip a beat when it comes to the spirit. As you can see, he has a Native American wife, Aboriginal. You can see her features, and that's why we don't focus on black. You see Busy Bone, light skin. I see the Ducateers red. We don't focus on that word black for a reason. Look at this couple, Asiatics. And I give him his props because he comes correct, even though I represent the new leadership of Moors. He still allowed me on his platform to speak my mind, and they might not agree with everything I say. I give him number 10 because they represent the God body. He has a Moabitess and married, so he has the authority to be a Moorish American and have a temple because he has a Moabitess sheik is. As you can see, him and his sheik got to be complete to have a temple. You can't be a rogue Moor saying you're a grand sheik. We're all sheiks. We're all teachers. Cause sheik sheiks, but a grand sheik in the temple gotta have a Moabitess. That's how the temples work. And that's what give you that authority and give you the title faithful, doing it the right way. Faithful was those doing it the right way. Now let's move on to this video. Let's move on to this video. I'm about to go in. Now, this going to hurt because now they want to say, oh, Bolivar ain't really Bolivar, as you can see up here, Bolivar. It's not really what they're saying is, oh, it's not Bolivar, Simone Bolivar. And Seminoles are not followers of Seminole, of Simon Bolivar. That's what they're trying to say that I made that up. So okay, now this is how I felt like I didn't make it up. Now we see the railroad, the Ohio company coming through. Damn, now Pocahontas, Metamora, and then we see Orizaba, Molino, Dumas, Jacinto. You see what I'm saying? That's Latin. That's Welsh. This is nothing but Welsh names in here. Hatchie, Woodall, Welsh. You feel what I'm saying? Here come that Luca too. Luca is coming, which is white. Farmington, Corinthian, Tuscumbaya. See that Tuscumbaya? That's a Spanish Moorish American word. Memphis is getting hijacked, and it's the old companies getting robbed. See that Orizaba. So when we see that Latin, Spanish American, Moorish, we already know that Boulevard is the real Boulevard. It's not that. It's crisis actor Boulevard, and let me prove it. So this right on Memphis, Metamora. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This right up there in Tennessee. And then we got coming straight down. We got what we got. Jonesboro, Tuscumbia. We see that? See this Alabama. This Alabama, then we over here. Okay, this Alabama right here. This more like Mississippi. Then this look more like Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? This Mississippi. Then this Bama over here. So this gonna put us in the Spanish Empire by being in it. I can pull it up. I'm talking about. I got all night. I got. I got all night. So let's get the wordplay right before we go and prove that Boulevard is our Simone Boulevard, not no I think it's Buckner Boulevard. We're gonna look up all that. So let's get the names. Metamora, which is Latin American mother, or should I say Moorish American. Then we have the occupation, stealing of the property. Here it is right here. Orizaba, Molino, like Molina, Cairo, Reinzi. And what else we have? Tuscumbaya, which is another Peruvian, Brazilian, not a Venezuelan word. A Venezuelan word. So let's go in here and justify my belief that this is Simone Boulevard. I mean Simone Bolivar wrecking havoc through here. What else do we have? Okay. Let's go up in here and justify this. What is this? Iroquois Marauder. Let's go just go justify this. Well, symbols. Okay, what is the this scientific racism? Okay, let me get out of here. Okay, now we got the Red Rovers. The Alabama Red Rovers group of volunteers were organized in 1835. It was assigned to the Lafayette Battalion and joined Fannin at La Bahia. This don't have nothing to do with no English, y'all. It don't have nothing to do with no English. Nothing to do with no English. So now we have our brother Talamaki Ill, brother Chief Talamaki Ill doing a Confederacy research. Now it's coming clear. The Moorish Andalusian grander tall Tallahassee, tall house culture. We going back to the Moors. We're going back to the Alabama Red Bahia State. Now let's go and look at who these guys is. Lafayette Battalion, La Bahia. This don't have nothing to do with no English. It don't have nothing to do with no English. The African and the white Anglo is the remix, the ultimate remix. Now the New Orleans Grays, part of the unit went to Fannin Bahia. The part went to defend the Alamo. The flag of the Grays was flying over the barracks, equipped with the public armory in New Orleans. Okay. Let's read the Tennessee volunteers dressed in coonskins. Look like a little fez tassel in the back. Came to the Alamo with Davy Crockett. I don't know about that story. I heard Davy Crockett was a bad man. I heard Davy Crockett was a bad man. So now we go into one of Mississippi's mysteries. We have the lady in red found on Egypt plantation. Now, that's even more scarier because we're dealing with the red flag, which I've been teaching y'all. And we have this grave site of the Egyptian plantation. What does that mean? We got to look into that. Now, what did we find? What do we have? It's called the Queen of the Gypsies, which is very important to Queen of the Gypsies, Mississippi. It's really important to get up into this because the Queen of the Gypsies and Meridian, remember I taught y'all about that Dionist, where they gonna come in with that Indian word to cover up that Meridian. And we talking about America, and The Roman people, the Jerusalem people, that's gonna get hijacked, and that's what they hijacking. Anything that's connected to that old Roman Jewish, what we call Roman or Moors. Moor is the proper word, but they're hijacking the gypsy community, the Egyptian community, and whitewashing it. So the reason why the queen of the gypsies is important in Mississippi with the red queen is because these are not white people. And this is where you see the Mardi Gras and all that. That's what they practicing down there. And if you ever been to Mardi Gras down there in that area, New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama, you see a lot of Egyptian Ferris wheels. Fair. It's a lot of the Egyptian stuff. If you just look up the all of the people that's gonna be having floats in the Mardi Gras. Just look the names up. You'll just see all type of Egyptian stuff. So the Gypsy Queen is a hijack of what we dealing with revision, because Gypsy people are not white Slavic people. Gypsies are not Slavic. And this story go back to the actual queen who was able to gather all of the gypsies in America. And this in Mississippi. And this is a religion. And the gypsies, they try to put them as Slavs. Gypsies have never been Slavs. They are just Egyptians in America. And that's why I showed y'all the Egyptian plantation, and the Mauritius meal plantation. And no, the Egyptians. Let me show you something, Big Liz. Let me show you the Egyptians that actually tried to colonize. This is the old world people along with the Cherokees. The Cherokees are old world people. Let me show you who they is. They was a free people like these gypsies who was just travelers. This is who they used to get over here. Let's say Circassian. A Circassian and a Cherokean is the same thing. See the fez cap on the Circassians with the fez cap, the big old cap. Now watch this. They the same people. Now them was some white folks, but I'm saying back in the day they was more of a hybrid. They are called hold on, I didn't mean to do that. Circassians themselves is called Cherokees. And they speak that same Turkey language called Turkish. And they got a whole bunch of different people. But back then, they was trying to get over here as free white persons. They was trying to get over here as free white persons. And a lot of Slavic Europeans was stealing identities as Cherokees. That's why you have a lot of Europeans running around here talking about they some Cherokees, because this is the Circassian Turk. They got the Turk blood. You feel me? So the Egyptians didn't come over here. The Egyptians is from over here. It's called Missouri. Missouri over here is Mizir. It's way older than over there. That's what we telling y'all, because the mothers come first. Now let's go back to the gypsies, Meridian. When we dealing with that Dianism, the gypsy queen of Mississippi was able to gather gypsies all over the country, and gypsies ain't never been white people. They're a part of Moorish. They're a part of Moorish. Now let's go back to Frikey. Now we're never gonna deny our people anywhere, but we be careful on what we claim ourselves. We don't have to rename ourselves because some people gave us a new name. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go back to that in a minute before I cover that language. I'm gonna cover the people for my debate, and then I'm gonna end the video. Now, freaky is what African mean. Is what African mean. Freaky. Freaky. This is where we get the word freaky from. Freaky Friday. And is the spirit of horror. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find synonyms for the word horror. Let's go and do that right now. For horror. Synonyms or horror. Okay, now here we go. So now that we know Africa is a Greek word where English derive a lot of their terminology from. Frike or Frike, which is the origin of Africa. And I continuously ask Pan Africans, I say, what does Africa mean? And before I go into this, I at least want to give you an honest definition for it from an Islamic Jerusalem perspective or civilized perspective. Let's say let's just say Africaya. Africaya will give us the best example right quick. Now, Africaya also means key means land Ifri. In this case it means garden. It means white garden, also known as the Maghrib al-Adna. Al-Adna was a medieval region in for Moorish people or or proconsularis for the Rome or Jerusalem, what we call Jerusalem today, or Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, even in Sicily, what we call Italy today, or Saculo. So what I'm showing you is the real name, Maghrib al-Atna. Al-Atna means the West Garden, the West Garden, the White Garden, West Garden. So other than that, in what we call Moorish, Arabic, or I'm not sure what region. This may be Libya. This is Tripolitania, so this is Libya. This would be Libyan Arabic, and that's their definition. Italian, see, Italian Tripoli colony, Libya. So Italian was even Moorish. This is where they get that Moorish or Muslim emirate from Suculo. If you ever know what the Suculo emirate in Italy, right? Do y'all need proof of that? So Prokaya, Byzantine province, which would be the Ashanti. You see that? Byzantine, Ashanti, Byzantine, Ashanti, Ashantin. Right. Now let's go. Let's get up out of here. Hold on. Let's go back to the free K. Let me see that free K one more time. Synonym for horror. Since we know free K, where is freak at? Ancient Greek. We know freak. We know freak means shivering, tremor. Is a verb. Fear, horror. So let's fear. We're gonna do freak. We're gonna do freak and then no. What it is, what I'm looking for. Okay, fear and horror. Synonyms for horror. Dread. Monkey. So an African is a monkey. Scallywag, holy terror, rapscallion, rascal, devil, terror. Let's see more. Hideous, atrocity. This is research and scholarship that cannot be rebutted or denied. This is what they're scared of. Barbarity. So when they're calling you a barbarous is similar to African. It's a disgusting being. Let's go back. Synonym for horror. Horror. Let's go back to Frike. Africa, the Greek word, it means from fear or horror. So let's do synonyms for fear. Yeah, let's do this. Distress, anxiety, worries, trepidation, agitation, to be terrified, apprehensive, cower before, be afraid of. Let's go back to horror. I want to see if freak is in there. Synonym for horror. Let's see if freak is in here somewhere. Dismay, satisfaction, monkey, rapscallion, perisher, abomination, hate, detest, Abhor. Wow. That's why sometimes I think twice about that aboriginal. Aboriginal. I'll be very careful with that word. I'll be very careful with that aboriginal word. Now let's go and look at abhor. Like I understand aboriginal, but they might be using that against us. Abhor and aboriginal. Abnormal means not normal. Then why are the original? To feel hatred. Abhor. To feel hatred. Wow, they tricking us with these words. So let's go back to horror. Let's go back to horror. Oh no, that was it. I wanted to see synonyms for horror one more time because that's what Africa means. Horror synonyms. And then we're gonna go and look at Simon Bolivar, y'all. So now look at horror. The synonym for horror is a monkey. So they know these things in college and universities, and they come laugh at us in the communities and give you names like African and make billions of dollars calling you an African when it means perturbation, outrageous, consternation, dismay, the opposite of satisfaction, to greatly dislike, a bad or mischievous person, especially a child. That's why they call you minorities. Let's go and get some more antonyms. Monstrosity and synonyms. Let's go and get it. Let's start it. Antonyms for harmer. For harmer. Look at that. The exact opposite. Look. Dislike, panic, hatred, fright, fear, awe, antipathy, dread, monster, loathing, aversion, abhorrence, abomination. I'm looking for the word freak. I seen it on one of these. I actually seen it. Ruthlessness, atrocity, barbarity, aversion, disgust. That's like freakazoid. That's exactly what freak mean. I got the source though. I can't believe I don't got it though. Infamy, savage. African is synonymous with savage, iniquity, viciousness, evils. Calling yourself an African, you're inhumane. Plague, a nuisance, torment, detest, curse, shame. I know I freak up here. I would love to get it because I'm trying to prove that it actually means freak, a freak of nature. But this is a great source for anybody that's calling me names as horrors, crosses, murders. Okay, let's say horror. Horror. Okay, let's say if we get freak. Similar for horror, immorality, deplorable, cursedness, hellishness, hatefulness, ghoulishness, wickedness, agony, torment, murder, Gehenna. Look at that. Gehenna is just another word for horror. So even Ghana is a fake word. This is how deep I want to go with this research. Even Ghana, that sounds just like Ghana, and it's the same word as Africa. Africa means horror, and these are synonymous words: monstrous, hideous, eyesore, stain, smudge, as in fear, nervousness, agitationness, timorousness, scare, antonyms, as in disgust. Let's see. Loathing, nausea, allergy, dis disinclination, distaste. All right, let's get out of here. But that's enough. What I'm trying to do is for the record at least find that Ghana. That's a good one right there. Calamities, horror. Okay. Right, terror. Let me see. Let's see if horror synonymous with freak. That's all I need. Three synonymous for synonyms. Okay, synonyms. I'm tripping. Monstrosity. Monstrosity. Let's see if monstrosity. Let's see it. Monstrosity synonym. Freak. Freak. There it is. Monstrosity is similar to freak and horror. So African means horror. It's right here. Look, horror. Look at it. Cruelty. Now go back. Freak. You see how I do my research? You see how I do it? So African is a horrific person. Something's disgusting. Now let's go to Simone Bolivar. Yeah, I did that. I did that. I definitely just did that. How old is Jerusalem? I can find Jerusalem in America. Jerusalem is 5,000 years. It's deeper than what you know. It's deeper than some Muslim, Christian, and Jews. All that's fake history. I can show you. I can show you. It's deeper than this. This is after the war and the division. This is afterwards. So let's go. Lady in red, I did all of that. We're gonna do Simone Bolivar now. Let's go and get Pedro Camejo. Let's say Pedro Camejo. When you look at Pedro Camejo, you can easily see. I'm gonna end this video because this is going to be on my other channel because I discovered so much Moorish information. They're not even hiding it anymore. When I go to South America, I'm almost confident they're gonna give me the information. They're not even hiding it anymore. So Pedro, as you can see, his Moorish attire similar to our brothers in the East. You can see he's not a slave. And he's very dark skinned. He's not a typical white, but look at this powerful picture. I mean, typical just light skinned person. You can see his features, is what I was wanted to explain. He's an American, not a slave, and he's known as primero, not he's known as a premier, not a rinky dink. And he's from Venezuela. Now, when we look at the Venezuelans coming up to Chicago, the migrants, I'm thinking are right here. It says Negro Primero. I'm thinking, are these the Venezuelans coming back to America, or are these are the people they was down there killing us with? You feel me? The people they had down there killing our people down there, and they're bringing them to Chicago. You feel me? Oh, they hating strong. I don't even see it. Where it go? Pedro Camejo. Let's go and get him again, and then we gonna get Simone Bolivar. Now he with the first Negro Palmero. We know Prime More. We know Negro. The etymology of Negro is more. Let's go and get that. The black is the English word, so they're explaining from their English perspective. It never existed. Let me go and show you. Let me go and show you etymology of Negro. So now that we get the etymology of Negro, it's going to be a modern. This is all modern. You see what I'm saying? They're going to be getting this from Spain. See, meaning African American vernacular. That means nothing. The English language is spoken by U.S. blacks is from 704 French Negri, borrowing from Spanish Negro. Older English words were more, so they weren't never calling you no Negro and black ever. They borrowed that later. A Middle English word for Ethiopian, perhaps also Negro, was blue man, blue man. So New York Times in reference United citizens of African descent because it's perceived associated with white impulse attitudes and roles. Word was ousted late in the 1960s. So they got rid of it in the 1960s because of the white people started changing it to black. So before the 1960, it was Negro, and before then, it was more. Whenever a Spanish would call us Negro, it was disrespectful. So they was not calling us Negro. That was disrespectful. They would only do it as a form of disrespect. They would say Moreno or Prieto, Paraiba, Prieto. You see that how easy I broke that down? Now let's go back. Pedro Camejo was not no first black because that's an English word. He was the first Mero. He was the first Primero. First. Prime. He was the prime. And he was, with the Royal Army, like how we find a lot of the Americans, like how we find a lot of them West Indian regiments. He was a free man, and he was uh the leader. He the leader because they're gotta create a fake psyop. Now I know a lot of history books say that Simon Bolivar was an African and they're whitewashing him. I already know about all that. But it's still a psyop to get you to think Pedro, which means father, is a rinky dink. Now, let's go over here. So this is the timeline 1783 through 1830. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm finna do the timeline of the Seminoles. I'm about to do the timeline of the Seminoles and the wars in Georgia to see if this man lined up with his New Granada and why he was fighting against the crown in Europe. So 1783 was a Venezuelan, and we know Miguel the Great is from Venezuela. King Miguel. The Guacamaya is from Venezuela. Let's go and look at Miguel Guacamaya. Let's go and look at Miguel Guacamaya. See, that's what I'm saying. Them Venezuelans that's coming up to Chicago might be our people. Miguel de Baraya. That's why I tell y'all that Bahia that's up in Alabama and Texas, the Bahia Presidio, that's the Confederacy. So it go back to Ray Miguel, like my Uncle Ray in Belize. Negro Miguel, Lara, Venezuela. Now let me show you Simon Planas. You see that? Consent of the Spanish crown. So we dealing with Moorish stuff. Because it's a lot of back and forth with these Moors and Charles the First and all of that. Right? So this is where Simon Bolivar is from. He's stemming back from this in the 1500s, and this was the great king that they try to, make into a rinky dink, but he was a Mayan, as you can see, Guacamaya. This is one of the first kings that they was enslaving, and he was fighting back. I just had to show that. Now let's go back. Let's go back. I just had to show that. What was I looking at? Simone Bolivar. Now, go back to Miguel Guacamaya Caracas, which is just like Cahokia, similar word to Cahokia. We now have to prove Bolivar embarked on a grand tour that ended in Rome. So he dealing with war where he swore to end the Spanish rule in the Americas. So he's fighting for an indigenous call. In 1807, Bolivar returned to Venezuela and promoted Venezuela independent to Peninsula War. Now we know Zuelan means blue man, and Vena could be Banu. Banu. I don't really know Venezuela. I know Zuela, Azules, this means blue. Now, this is in 1807 during the Seminole Wars. All we got to do is connect this man up into the Seminoles to show you this where they get their name from, and that's why they got them fez caps on and them turbans up there. Bolivar began his military career in 1810, right around the time of the 1812 War, in the Venezuelan War of Independence, fighting royalist forces for the first and second Venezuelan republics and united provinces of New Granada. Wow. And look at that star they got. So La Patria Boba, it was formed areas of the new kingdom of Granada. So he's fighting. He's fighting for New Granada. He's not fighting for Spain. So that put us right back with the Moors and Tallahassee. That put us back with Tallahassee, which means tall house or grand house. Put us back with Arizona. After Spanish forces subdued New Granada, in 1815, Bolivar was forced into exile in Jamaica. In Haiti, Bolivar met his befriended Haitian revolutionary leader Alexander Pétion. See, this is proof Bolivar is not a mulatto like they trying to teach because the Haitians killed mulattoes. The Haitians, when they did they uprising, they took out all the mulattoes. So this is how we know they lying. Now, Alexander Sabi or Sabi was the first president of the Republic of Haiti from 1807. He was the first. So this is the first more republic free of white Slavs. And Bolivar is welcome. So you know he's not a mulatto. As we can see the thumbnail that I got of him. It's not a mulatto. It's more of a light-skinned person like me. This is a fake European pick. And this is more proof they're whitewashing our history. Now, this is important because he's spreading Granada, which is Andalusian Moorish caliphate. And if it's Granada, Caliph, we're dealing with Caliph Rahman, Abdul Rahman, when we're dealing with Granada. Now, Bolivar received military support from Pétion, which is Haitian. So that's Haiti and Venezuelan. He established a third republic in 1817 and crossed the Andes to liberate New Granada in 1819. So this was going on in South America. And of course, this is going to have ramifications in North American. Now, let's keep going. 1821, 22, 24, 25, Venezuela, New Granada, Ecuador, and Panama were merged into the Republic of Colombia. So that's all of them countries, and that's why the United States is down there doing the missions to slander and arrest them people. Look at all of this Bolivar had during pre-Civil War. This is critical for them to have all this land and plus Matamoros, Baghdad, Tamila Prize, all of Florida, all of the Louisiana Purchase alliances and connections. They're thinking they finna come take that back. And that's exactly what they're gonna do with the Confederate War. They're gonna come take all that back that was stolen, all them buildings. In his final years, Bolivar became increasingly disillusioned with the South American republics and distanced from them because of his centralist ideology. He was successfully removed from his offices until he resigned the presidency of Colombia and died of tuberculosis in 1830. His legacy, diverse and far-reaching with Latin America and beyond, he's regarded as a hero and national and cultural icon. So he died a Bolivarian, Republic of Venezuela. Okay, let's go up in here and learn a little something about. I'm gonna go and find this. I'm gonna go and find the Muskogee connection to Peru. And first, let's go and look up the Seminoles because we already know they have the red flag as well. We already know about the Seminole red flag. Let's see if it pop up. Seminole red flag. Okay, they not showing it. Okay, here it is right here. Seminole tribe flag red color. We already know. I think this might. I don't think this is a good source, but I know Muskogee got one. Muskogee got one. But anyway, let's just go and see. Seminole Wars. Seminole Wars. Let's get the dates. Let's get the dates. And let's go and see. The brother died in 1830, Brother Bolivar. 1830s. Seminoles are still active. First Seminole War, 1817. Seminole, what's the brother name? Simon Bolivar is full alive and he has plenty wealth and access to all those republics. Now let me show you. Okay, the second war is in 1835. That's right after Bolivar died. So they don't have that South American connection they used to have before Simon Bolivar passed. Now they don't have that support. The U.S. and Slavs and Christians are encroaching on our territory. The Seminoles, which are Seminites, they don't have that South American protection because South America is being attacked too. So now by the 1840s, most Seminoles were forced to move. That's the indigenous guard that's going to get reduced. 1840s, now we're going into the 1850s, and the Constitution Act. The third war broke out in 1855, and this is what's going to lead in 1858 for the few remaining bands. Once they get off the land, now we're going to have the Civil War because now we have the heirs of the land gone. These are the only real deal people with the titles that can claim this land, and when they move them, it's going to go down, and this is going to lead to the Civil War in a few years. You see that? You see how all that Simon Bolivar and Brother Pedro Camejo add up. Now let's go and prove it. Let's go and prove it. Where is it at? Hatchie's Bridge. Okay, let's go back to Hatchie's Bridge. Now we see Hatchie's Bridge. We see from Bolivar. Let's go and look up who is Bolivar. Okay, let's get it into English. How do we do that? English. Okay, now where is Buckner? I think it's Bolivar Buckner, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go and look that name up. It's got to be in here. Davis Battlefield, Sterling, Army of the West. Holly Spring, Army of the West. I don't see it nowhere. All right, I'll look it up myself. So we're gonna the bridge of Matamora. Let's say Buckner Bolivar. Let's go and investigate this story. Now, let's see. Okay, he's from 1940. Let's go in. Okay, he's from 1940. Let's go and get the original one. We don't want to get Junior. Okay, here he is right here. Okay, Simon Bolivar. That makes no sense for this man to have his name as a European slave. Look at this Photoshop. He fought in the United States Army. He later fought in the Confederate States. After the war, he served as the 30th governor by Governor Baraya. This makes no sense when we know Baraya is the name of Miguel Baraya, McGuffin. This makes no sense. Do you see what we were exposed about reading this stuff? Now let's read. After graduating from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, Buckner became an instructor. He took hiatus from teaching to serve in the Mexican-American War, participate in many of his battles. He resigned from the Army in 1855 to manage his father-in-law's real estate. Father-in-law sounds like a marriage of Slavs. He returned to his native state of Kentucky and was appointed adjutant general, de facto commander of the state's military forces by Governor Bariah McGoffin. Why would this man have a name like that when that's a Brazilian name? In this position, he tried to enforce Kentucky's neutrality policy in the early days of the Civil War. When the state's neutrality was breached, Buckner accepted a commission in the Confederate Army. Hatfield McCoy, Rowan James, Honest. Okay, Simon Jr. See, this is the Englishizing of the Spanish Slavs and half breeds. Okay, okay. Simone, stake near Mumford. He was the third child and second of Islet Hartswell and Moorhead Buckner, named after the Venezuelan soldier and statesman Simon Bolivar, who led battles in independence from the Spanish Empire of Venezuela, Panama at the height of his power. So he's literally named after Simon Bolivar, which makes no sense. It makes no sense. And his mother is named Moorhead. It's just too sus. It's just too suspicious. It makes no sense. Why was a Caucasian Slav man named after a Moor? Now let's keep going to even look at the nonsense. His closest friend was Thomas Wood, who would become a Union general opposing Buckner at the Battle of Perryville and the Battle of Chickamauga. Buckner's father was an iron worker, but found, and that's crazy, that's ironic because a lot of Negroes were iron workers in Kentucky, but found that Hart County did not have sufficient timber to fire his iron furnace. Consequently, in 1838, he moved his family to Muhlenberg County, where he organized Iron Making Corporation, and later at Christian County Seminary in Hopkinsville, in Greenville. Service in the war. So that was too suspicious. That's why I read about Simon Bolivar, who was an African. Now let me show you why this makes no sense for them to name this man after a Venezuelan African. Let's show y'all Simon Bolivar, the African. Now I know that I teach that Afrikaners are the real African. But this site right here is one of those Pan-African sites, and they don't think African believes that. Now, Bolivia in Haiti, he was a black radical. He was a liberator. He was a black radical against European slaves. He did not want Europeans owning black slaves no matter what. He was raised by a black slave. He is a black named Hippolyta, a Latin. Okay. Why? It makes no, but a mixed species of Aboriginal and Spanish. So he's a Moorish Aboriginal because I keep telling y'all Spanish is the hijack. Spanish is a hijack for Moorish. He declared that the people of this regions are not Europeans. We are not Indians. We are but a mixed species of Aboriginals. Simon Bolivar was not calling himself a Indian. He knew not to do that. He knew to use Aboriginal. Spaniard is Hispano, which is a mixed blood like Creole. That's all Spaniard means is the most. It's the Moorish. It's the most blood types. Aborigines is American. Most successful revolutionary. He brought independence. Now let's go and look at our brother before I come back to this to prove it. Because he's a Criollo, which is exactly what the Louisiana colonies is. I mean, the Louisiana Creole culture is. It comes from Criollo, which is different from English Creole and Patois. Let's go into Brother Camejo jurisdiction. Let's go and show you how powerful these brother is. Camejo province. I think he got a province. It might be a province, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Romulo Pias Buruk. Okay, here it is right here, the municipality. So Brother Pedro got his own municipality in the country. Look at all that land he got. We can go down there right now. They waiting on us. That's what I'm telling you about our Moorish story. Our Moorish story. This is why we have Mayor Sharif. This is why we have Mayor and Sharif in North America. America was so great during this time. We was way more free than what these white people got us going through and these black masons. I lived amongst Latin Americans for majority of my life. I know the feeling of freedom and living your life. Now, Pedro Camejo is the brother, one of the revolutionaries amongst Simon Bolivar, who magically this Confederate soldier is named after who looked like a slave. And that's why I'm telling you, this is whitewash. This is a important look, Baraya, which is a Brazil word. Now let me go and show y'all of the hijack and how it's very important to know what they doing to us. Let's go back here and read this before I go down here. Now he's named after a Venezuelan, which is nothing but dark skinned people, Moors. Why would a white person, a white European Slav, want to name himself after somebody who will enslave him? Venezuelans and Pedro Camejo and Latin Americans will enslave white people or Slavs. They don't like them. Why would a Confederate general name himself after Simon Bolivar? And that's why, my people, I showed you Battle of Hatchie's Bridge, which is the Matamora Bridge. It's literally called the Matamora Bridge. It says it right here. Or Matamora, and we have Matamora, Mexico, and many more references in South America. Now, let me go and show you why this is important. Now, let's go and say Americana. Americana people in Brazil. This is the psyop right here that they want to snuff out. Now, American Brazilians. Okay. See, it's not easy to tell this story. I gotta tell this. Oh my God. I really didn't blew it if I don't got this. I got this story. I have a story. Okay, Americana Confederate. I cannot believe this. Please don't do this. Okay, 20,000 American Confederates immigrated to the South. Confederados. Okay, where that story at? New law can mark end of an American Confederacy, the Americana. This is the Americana people. And the psyops is down here just taking pictures. These people right here are psyops. You're not seeing the real Confederates. This is all psyops. You see, they even try to put the Latino looking people to justify it, but we know that the Confederates were not white people or mestizos. We know that. Now, this is a U.S. Civil war colony, and they speak Americana. I gotta find this site. Let me see if I can find it. Welsh ancestry. It may be over here. Negro nobility, nobilified, Frikey. Oh man. Wow, that's crazy. I don't have this site. I need that for my debate. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm really worried now. This might be it right here. No, this is not it. Wow. I actually need this for my debate. So let me try and find it to prove my point. Did U.S. Confederates flee to Brazil? Now, what I'm saying is the PSYOP is going to show you pictures on here of white people, but they're not white. They're the same as Pedro Camejo in his municipality in Brazil. These are the people they're hunting down there and going to war. And they try to say light skinned upper class Brazilian. Light skin is not Slavic. So they're trying to white them out, of course, and take their bloodlines like they are in Haiti. But the point I'm proving is this right quick. Okay, let me see how I can prove it. Let's go in. Let me show them the proof. How could I do this? This ain't gonna be easy. Okay, my channel. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna do it because I got the brain to do it. Okay, now let's look at the Confederate dollar of the Americana. Okay, maybe I do have it. I hope I do. I do have it. Yes, I do. I was smart enough to save it. I know I was. Okay, remember Pedro. We're gonna come back to Pedro. Hold on, give me 1 second. I got this site that break down the Americana. And we're gonna go back to them in the Confederacy, and I'm gonna show you the Bahia. I'm gonna show you the Bahia in Alabama and Mississippi to prove that Simon Bolivar was actually there with the Seminoles, and the Seminoles is fake history. It's fake history. They are Seminites. All of them Seminole followers. Okay. As we can see right here. Look at their face, look at his lips, look at their woolly hair. Now, this might be a Slav, and it might be light-skinned people, but Simon Bolivar and Pedro Camejo is a red brown man. Shout out to everybody. This is Moray, Peru, where he controlled. So Bolivar, who was a New Granada, he controlled these structures called Moray, Cusco, Peru. This is his country. He controlled Panama as well and Brazil, all of Brazil. So with that being said, it's Moray. They named this, and this man got his own municipality. Okay, is this it right here? Confederate Brazilian town. I knew I said it. Thank the Lord. Now, the immigrants died. Where is it at? Where is it at? Okay, Oregon Trail. We're gonna be going over the Oregon Trail real soon. Let me see. Don Pedro, Emperor Don Pedro, Southerners. Okay, the war ended a year later, the lost cause for which he had no natural attachment. In 1866, with the permission of Emperor Don Pedro, recruited Southerners to migrate to Brazil and set up new communities. Because a lot of that Spanish Moro stuff is getting kicked out of America with the Creole Alamo and the Canary Islanders. All of that getting kicked out. So now the Americanas got to go down here, and here's their money. It's right here. The Brazilian migration mirrored the one for California 2 decades earlier. Hastings lingered at their new land in 1940s. A writer was able to track down 3 of the original Santarum immigrants. We know that's not a Slavic name. Thousands of the descendants there at other Confederado settlements remain today. All have assimilated completely into Brazilian culture, except for one thing, an affection for the Confederate flag. At Santarum, and more famously, a town called Americana. So the Confederate people called themselves Americanas. Bars and homes proudly display it. Here it is right here, the Confederate dollar. This is in 2009, and we can see the Bahia flag, and we can see the Confederate flag, a Americana pyramid. We can see the pyramid. Let's zoom in, and we know that's their language as well. It's also called the Maraca language. Look, Americana, to live and die in Dixie. 5-point star, pyramid, handshake, bam. Maracana. So they're not Confederate, they're not rebels. They're literally called Confederate. The Union is the immigrants. The Union is the immigrants. They are called Maracana. Now that I showed you Simon Bolivar in Georgia, let's go. Let me break this down before I show the language. Remember, Pedro Camejo, we have to always show him love. We got to show him love. Now, the Alabama Red Rovers is what? Why is this important? Because this is the Confederacy under Lafayette, a Latin pre-English, non-Slav, red robe, red flag is what? La Bahia or Baraya, which is Morocco, which is Moroye, the big leader, La Bahia. They joined Bahia. So who is Bahia? Who is Bahia? Americana Bahia with the Confederate flag. Americana. Wow, that's deep. Now let's go and get the language, and then we're gonna go in here and show who Bahia is. Let's say Kreenak language. I did my research. I got a book coming out. I have a Chicago language book coming out with more than 300 Chicago words to prove we are our own people. And I have this proof right here of the Confederate cover up and the whitewash that they cannot deny. It's a total whitewash that we're going to expose. So, Kreenak language, Bodacordo. Okay. What are we looking for? Bodacudo, Imorai, Mecmac. This not it. I'm looking for the Imorais, I think. What is it at? Imorai. This is it. Yeah, this it right here. The Moor language. Now we see the Moor, Emore, another cover up for Moors. Krenaken. And we see the Krenakan language, and we go down to the Moroccan, which is unattested, and the Bahia. So it's magically from the Bahia. It's magically from the Bahia, the same Bahia that the Red Rovers is from. As you can see, the Bahia, Alabama Red Rovers, and we also have a Alabama Belize. There's also an Alabama Belize. Now we see the Bahia. Now we see why it's unattested. Nobody's speaking up because they're getting terrified to speak this Americana language that we see right here with the Americana Brazilian Confederates. They're down there chasing them people around all throughout South America and the Amazon to make them extinct so they won't come tell us this story. And we are being distracted by Tariq Nasheed and these silly Indians and these silly Pan-Africans. I've simply done the research and put it together for y'all to see the South American cause. Now I'm going to end it with the supreme research to show y'all Peru was in America and Muskogee. So let's go and do it. This don't get no better than this because Americana is a real people. We know Santerum. We already know all this Hispano, Moro is nothing to do with no Slavic white people. They do not mess with them people. They're simply whitewashing everything to hide our history they stealing, and y'all is helping them by not supporting me because y'all know I break this down. So now, let's get out of here. Let's go and get this information on I got people in here. Shout out to GA Peach and Big Liz and Kiara. Thank y'all for being present. Let's go on. I'm going to drop the link after I expose the Peruvian, hold on, where is it? It's over here, maybe. It might be over here. After I expose Peru and America. Improved Cherokee is some more made up nonsense as well. It's nothing but half breeds. All the half breeds trying to replace the dark skinned people. That's all this nonsense is. Watch this. Now, all that information I just presented, and open your eyes up to the Americana, the Americans, the West Indian. It's a big giant invasion, and it's over with. Now, what's in here? And I gotta hope that I can find it enough time. Now look at our masonry out here in Espanola, which is New Mexico, where we find the Aztec, aka Pueblo script. Pueblo Nahuatl script called Nahuatl in New Mexico. So this is Espanola, New Mexico. So we know that Espanola and Hispaniola is not in Europe. It is in America. We can easily see that to kill all the fake stories to try to teach us Espanola, another word for Lisbon or grand, is outside America. No, it's not. It's from America. Do not listen to them. Now let's go back. We're gonna go in here and find the the I know what it's called. It's called the Mound Builders. It's a mound builder site. It's in here somewhere. It's in here. And I'm gonna go up in here and find it. And hopefully I just up and find it and we can go in here and prove that Peruvian indigenous Americans was in Georgia with their civilization and they also brought their civilization to Europe. I'm going to prove it in this video and in this video. Unless somebody want to come up here, because I'm one of the best, and I got a debate coming up on DNA to show you that these people are misteaching our people intentionally and still lying in 2023, all while avoiding me, acting like I've never done the research to prove my points, or even calling me pseudo. So anybody who call me pseudo, right, or they just make up nonsense about me, I'm challenging them to a debate on the spot. Anybody. And a lot of people are afraid they're gonna get called out. They're gonna get called out. I'm gonna debate you and prove that you're illiterate or you're lying. We all know this is coming. So right now I got a debate with not a coincidence, and that's why I'm doing these little, quick videos to put the pieces together. And I've discovered the Maraca language, the Americus Georgia people near Casita, Georgia, and Fort Benning, Fort Moore, Georgia, Muskogee, Georgia, Lumpkin, Georgia, Eufaula, Alabama, all them people. I'm connecting all that. I live down here in Chattahoochee Valley, and I'm from Chicago. Okay, let's go. We're gonna keep going. It's not gonna take us long. Just follow me. Let's zoom in so y'all can look at some of this stuff. Remember Guacamaya, Miguel Guacamaya, ceremonial Nazca lines. Look at this giant mound. American Indians and Turkic people. That's our South American people. Our Acadian, Sumerian South Americans. Okay, it's gonna come up. It's gonna pop up. It's called the. I know what it is. It's the Amana. It's called the Amana. The Amana Sun Disk in Georgia. Part of that Chris Tucker story. The Chris Tucker family got land over 200 years in Georgia. Okay, we're almost here. I know it. Okay, let me take time. Y'all stick in there. I got a few people in here. You finna see me connected. One thing you're gonna do is see me connect everything that I talk about instead of sitting up here gish galloping, talking about a bunch of stuff that I can't confirm. Everybody know I do good. It's just so many haters out here. When I use Wiki or my information is just I revise it in a way for you to comprehend. They just hate on me. But everybody know I make sense, and when I debate them, I always make them look slow. And it's just unfortunate they won't open the door for us to fully expose these dudes because I have the information. Now, for anybody who coming in here and you see the title and thinking I'm talking about Moors, you need to watch the video. I did not disrespect Moors because I know a lot of y'all people are pessimistic and frightful of me exposing fake Moors. But that's not what that was about. I just made it simple for y'all. But anyway, Let's keep going. We're scrolling. We're simply scrolling down the timeline until we run into it. It's gonna come up, and we're gonna show you the origin of the Cherokees and the Peruvian connection to Georgia and Florida. It's actually research, real, authentic archaeological research on that matter. Okay, we getting close, and I do not want to miss it. Snakes and scribes, crazy snake rebellion. Confederates in Ethiopia. Remember, the Confederates is what we're talking about. Egyptian imperialism and Confederates are everywhere, and there's even Egyptian plantation in Mississippi. Okay. All right. I know for a fact it's after this Edward the Black Prince. And I got so much information. Agala people. Remember the Gala? Agala. Ida people, Idaho. Okay, Conquest of California. Okay, it's coming up. Okay, I remember this. Stick in there, all you. I just want y'all to witness this proof to show you I've been doing this research for years. Okay, almost. I remember this. Here go the map. Remember the St. Louis Fair maps showing all the buildings, the more buildings. Okay, almost. I know it. Come on. Westo Indians. Remember the Westos? The Westos are the people used to fight the natives in the South. The Westos were iffy people. Okay, let's go. Islam in Mexico. Come on. I should have had this before I even started the video, but I'm confident that I'm gonna pull right up on it. Let me see. Guatemala. Battle of Mama. Come on. Mm-mm. Wow. Cuba Palace. The Cuba Palace. Look at that. The Cuba Palace, just like the Moorish buildings over here. Can y'all see this? Okay, we're getting close. I'm assuming. Come on. Where is it at? Okay. We definitely getting close. Just hang in there. I know I have it. I know I have it. It's just taking longer than thought. It might not be in here. Hold up. What the hell? Okay. I'm talking about wow. No, it's in here. It's in here. I know it is. Confederate. I got so much information to go way back. Look at all this. Right. Okay. Ancient pyramid, French pyramid. So I know it's about to pop up. Okay. What is this? This is Alabama. Physical map of Central Belize, Alabama, Belize. Look at that. Stan Creek, Belize, Alabama, Belize. Look it up. Okay, right. Okay, this is Monkey. Royal Purple. It's gonna pop up. I know I'm not gonna disappoint. Oh my God. Go to Canarian Americans, Canary Islands connection, Colombia, Ecuador. Okay, bench language, Caliphate, Africaya. I did not know I had all this stuff. I also found that Dubois or Dubois. Dubois means the bay, like Dubai. Dubois is like John Baptiste Dubois. That's the bay. That's a Turk. Okay, it's popping up. Come on. Come on, man. This is not fair. Okay. It's up in here. It's right up around here. Arabia Mountain, Cahokia, Ravana. It's up in here. It's popping up. MIA. Come on. Ghana is Guyana. Trump's long clash with Native Americans. Thousands of ancient rock paintings. Samaritan. Wikipedia. Stick in there, y'all. I done went all the way back. Wikipedia. Okay, America is the whole world. I know what's in here. Man, this is taking forever. I hate when this happens, but I gotta do what I gotta do. I wish I would have pulled this up because I knew I wanted to pull it up before I even did the video. Okay. Well, I know exactly what I'm looking for because it's a gang of them back to back, so I'm not gonna miss it. Okay. Okay. 7 American castle-like wonders. This is right after this. Okay. Okay. Here it is. Nope. Mount Moore. Come on, man. Shanakaya, U.S. Confederacy, American Brazil. Okay. Ozone. Dang, I got a lot of stuff. Boy, I'm never gonna run out of information. I can tell you that though. Come on. Nevertheless, Ersa Hernan and Montezuma. Views on Endo, North Thailand. Siege of Savannah. Now I'm okay. I remember this story. The Bermuda Triangle. Okay, it's got to be after this. Okay, Baleem Sultan. It's after this. It's popping up. It's got to be right around here. Okay, take your time. Hinduism. Right up in here. So we're right here. Ancient origins. Pre European Roman cultures. New Granada. Muhammad Abdul Word Plus. Yaffa Bay. Wow. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I remember where it was at. It has to be. That site had to be taken down. I just seen the video. I do not see it, man. But I'm not gonna give up. It might be in here. Okay, this is it right here. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. I just set up just did this shit for nothing. Oh, let me see. Cherokee Mound Builders. Wow. Dang, man, that's crazy, man. I can't even prove my point. I can't believe this. All right, where is it at? Where is it at? Okay, okay. Stereo cat. Here it is right here. America's Reveal. See, I don't never give up. Even though it took me forever, and I wish that people would have stayed in here. I didn't give up though. So 1715, first British map to mention Cherokee. Now we see the Coosatees, and we know Casita is a place in Georgia as well. Now, Upper Creeks, Cherokee. We see that Cherokee right there. Sherioquet. Now let's go down here and find it. It's down here. I know it. Real history of Cherokee, secret history of the Great Cherokee. Let's go up here. It might be up here. America's Revealed. I gotta go search through here because I don't have the original story. I know it's in one of these joints. Look, Cherokee on the map. Now let's go down here. Related Cherokees found in Toronto. Okay. Elijah and the Great Cherokee Chief White Path. Elijah, Georgia. Elijah, that's my name. Look at these great falls, man. I be telling y'all about. It's beautiful down here. They don't be wanting y'all to know. Okay, let's keep going. Sog Willie, Sequoia, Chief White Path. This site right here go on to show you to prove Cherokees are some northern people who came down to the south destroying mound builders. Okay. Now, astonishing revelations about the Cherokees before 1715. Until 1649, the original Cherokees or Circassians lived in Canada, north of the St. Lawrence River. They were a small tribe which was a vassal of the Teonante, according to French colonial archives. Both tribes were driven to what is now Southwest Virginia by the Iroquois, and that would be the Sagamores. So this was probably some half-breed people, placing the Cherokees in the Northeast Territory. Do you see that? You don't got nobody teaching you that. North Carolina Cherokees claim to be descendants of Clovis culture. The East Band of Cherokees recently issued a press release in which a cultural heritage official of the tribe, Barbara Duncan, described the program which will help preserve 10,000-year-old Cherokee artifacts. Watch how I disprove that and show y'all the Peruvian in America. Around North America, an initial project is in the Biltmore Estate near Asheville, Carolina. Archaeologists label these artifacts as being from the Clovis culture. A newspaper in Asheville developed a press release in the community of the Biltmore. The Asheville Citizen Times reporter and Duncan described the Cherokee Clovis artifact as being associated with the Archaic period. However, the Clovis culture belongs to the Paleo American period. Clovis artifacts date back to 13 to 10, not 8,000 BC, as the article state. Without specifically mentioning the Clovis Carter culture, the Eastern Band Cherokee has long claimed that Cherokees were the first humans in North America, plus the Aztec and Mayans were their descendants. So they're saying that Cherokees, the Aztec and Mayans were their descendants. However, most such films and publications get their chronology mixed up and place the Aztecs in an earlier time period than the Mayans, when in fact the opposite is true. Duncan, employed by the Museum of Cherokee Indian, the museum's logo is a shell gorget which was found in East Missouri across the Mississippi River from the Cahokia Mounds. So let's go Cherokee. Let's go down here. Now, let's go. Shout out to El Kimon Hop Bay. Let's go here. Unraveling multiple layers of academic fraud. Within a couple of weeks, I will be publishing a verbatim transcription of the handwritten manuscript History of the Cherokee People, written by Cherokee Principal Chief Charles Hicks in 1825-1826. Hicks was, for his times, considered the most learned man in Cherokee Nation and was truly the father of the Cherokee Renaissance. He had one of the largest personal libraries in the United States. Yet virtually nothing that you read today about Cherokee history prior to 1763 in encyclopedias and university published history anthropology book jives with what he wrote. What exactly happened? A fascinating aspect to the description of Cherokee history by Charles Hicks is the tribe's short cultural memory. Hicks did not know that the Cherokee tribe actually began in 1725 at the behest of a British Army official. Colonel George Chicken Hicks did not even know the cause of the 40-year Long Creek Cherokee War in 1715. It was the murder of 32 Creek leaders in their sleep while attending a friendly political conference. More about that later. The earliest specific event that Hicks knew about was the arrival of a band of Natchez refugees into the Cherokee tribal lands in 1732. Hicks stated that many Cherokee warriors had wanted to kill them, but a missionary named Alexander Doherty, who was married to a Cherokee woman, had convinced them to give the Natchez sanctuary. Doherty was actually a traitor, but amongst those Natchez was the parents of the famous Cherokee leader Major Ridge. After months of following a trail of citations from professor to professor over the past century, I finally found the fountainhead of fraudulent history. It was History of the Cherokee Indians and Their Legends and Folklore, published in 1922 by Emmett Starr. Starr was a mixed blood Cherokee physician and amateur historian. As you can see, he had very little Native American DNA. Men with substantial Native ancestry do not go bald. Obviously, he was intelligent since he had medical degree, but his version of history was a speculations minus the understanding of factual anthropology. In his discussion of early Cherokee history, he never uses a scientific or eyewitness colonial archive as a source. Virtually all the nonsense that the Cherokee and allied academic historians are forcing into reference in government documents nowadays began with Emmett Starr. It is that he propelled a little known legend about Nancy Ward and the fictional Battle of Tallywa into solid history. Starr placed Ward in Tennessee when in fact she was born in Northeast Georgia and lived most of her life there. Starr books begin with the logic that since the original Cherokee's language had a soft sound to it, Cherokees obviously came from the South. Therefore, the Cherokees built Etowah moms. So it's because of this dude that we have these East Band Cherokees, and we know who's Cherokee. They're claiming the Muskogean, Mayan, Venezuelan mounds, and they are fraud. He is one of the first that said the Cherokees once occupied the Southeast, even though all maps show their actual territory to be smaller than those of the Choctaw, Chickasaw, and the Creeks. So Choctaw is a fraud group stealing from the Choctaw, the Shocktown Negroes, Chickasaw, which was the powerful chiefs, and the Creeks, which is the people with the boats. The first illustration in Starr's book labeled Cherokee artifacts from Ottawa Mounds. Since the art and architecture of Etowah Mounds has strong cultural ties with Mesoamerica, like I just told y'all, with the Mayans. Starr ultimately stated that the Cherokees originated in Mexico or South America. Remember, I'm finna prove to y'all the Peruvian connection to show y'all why Simon Bolivar and his remnants are in the Civil War with PTG Beauregard. Well, the ancestors of the Creek did come from Mexico and South America. But in 1649, the Cherokees were living in Canada. So, as we can see, that bald headed Slavic man is a stand in. Cherokee history is fake history with a bunch of Sarcasians. I then been examining academic papers from 1930s and 1940s. At that point, professors at the University of North Carolina were treating Starr's unsubstantiated version of history as fact, and is a starting point for incrementally farther steps into La La Land. As you can see above, British officials in 1715 estimated there were about 800 Cherokee men between the ages of 16 and 45. This would interpolate into a total Cherokee population of about 3,200 people. Y'all never seen this research before because you believe anything. You believe anything they tell you about an Indian, Abo, or more. One frequently cited 1935 dissertation from the University of North Carolina claimed to quote that the map, but stated that there were 3,200 Cherokee warriors in 1715, with a total population of 11,900. A dissertation at UNC Chapel Hill in 1976 claimed to cite this dissertation, but said it was too conservative and that the actual Cherokee population was over 30,000. 30,000. That's about 10 times the actual population. However, now you know that the source of the statement heard repeatedly ad nauseum that the Cherokees once numbered 30,000 people and controlled an area covering 7 southern states. In the mid 20th century academic paper about the Cherokees and the Yamasee War, I read an interesting statement. The Cherokees were originally in alliance with the Creeks, Appalachians, and Yamasee against the British in South Carolina. I was eventually, maybe the Westos are the Cherokee when we look at the Westos. I was eventually able to track down the source for that statement and actually read Okiesi, Appalachian, and Yamasee. The word Creek was not used for the Creek Indians until the 1740s. Even as late as 1735, the Creek called themselves Apalaki or Palaki. Palake is an Aztec word, or Apalakin is the plural of Apalaki, or Pulashi, or Pulashi. Now, this word is similar to Palenque. The same academic paper also quoted a Cherokee chief as saying the Cherokees and Creeks got along fine until the schemes of France and Britain tore apart the old Appalachian Confederacy. The 85-year-old document also stated that the Cherokee Alliance in North Tennessee had been close allies of other tribes in Tennessee, such as the Alabama, Kusate, Apache, until the Yamasee War. Articles by Academia Today always began with the statement, the Cherokees and Creeks were longtime enemies. Of course, the word Creek didn't exist until about 15 years later, but what was going on back then? So the Cherokee tribes that, let's zoom in. The Cherokee tribes that later made up the Creek Confederacy were all members of the Appalachian Confederacy, and that would be Opalaka. We know that's the same word as Opalaka. Opalaka, Alabama, and Opalaka, Florida, which earlier had been the Kingdom of Opalake, which is another word for Apollo, which means Blacke. The infamous political conference at the Uchi village, Uchimagatugalu, had actually been a meeting of all leaders of Apalaka, where they were supposed to make plans for joint military effort against South Carolina. It was not a meeting between Cherokee and Creek because neither existed at the time. Taking advantage of sudden leadership vacuum, the tribes that would form the future Cherokee tribe gobbled up vast swath of land in West North Carolina immediately after the December 1715 assassinations. Then in June 1717, the Coweta tribe sponsored a meeting at Okmulgee Mounds, where the modern Creek Confederacy was created. That's after the assassination of the Appalachian Confederacy political leaders. Once this alliance got its military act together, the Cherokee were not able to acquire any more territory. So the Cherokees are nothing but Britain crisis actors. According to the principal chief Charles Hicks, after a series of smallpox plague in the 1730s, the Cherokees lost so much population that they were never again able to mount military offenses. So look how they was moving. Look at that, Frankfurt, Chattanooga. The biggest ironies in the region where the Cherokees did live, long time Canada and South Virginia, are not show Cherokee on the map. The seven state area of the Great Cherokee Nation that is bragged about today was a vast territory occupied by Native American allies of France, which was given to the Cherokees in return for the Cherokees furnishing 200 warriors to fight the Native American allies of France. So everybody who had the Latin titles lost their land to the English speaking Cherokees. The map also above includes lands lived in for thousands of years by the Kansai, which is an important people. The Itzate Creek, important, Upper Creek, which is Tuscaloosa, and Yuchi, which is Sagamores, and Chickasaw, which is powerful sheiks. All of these are Asiatics and Mexican, all Asiatics. And where did they actually live? Cherokees only lived 1 to 4 generations. Most of this paper territory remained occupied by other tribes after the American Revolution. Then white settlers moved in. That is a very different history, what is stated in the most history books. Okay, let's go. Account Carolina, Ancient Heart, Asheville. I got to keep going in here to find what I'm looking for. Because, like I said, I actually, okay, archaeology, I might be able to find it. Okay, Calhoun. This is where the word Calhoun come from. Okay, I'm looking for an actual article. Veracruz, Chiapas, Samilapas, Moose, rat people like Muskokie. It's an article in here that talks about the presence of the Peruvians. I know I just read it. I know for a fact that I just actually read it. I know that I actually read it. But there's an actual they show the cultural exchange of the Peruvians and the Seminoles. So I'm proving Simon Bolivar was here in America. Now here's the Hallstatt Mound, which is the Aztec and Tamil, Tampico and Tampa Bay connection. So we know the Choctaw and Chickasaw are Hallstatt, and that would make them Moors. That would make them Palenque. That would make them what do we call our brothers? Not Songhai. That would make them Songhay, and even Senegal. Senegal as well, and as well as Japanese people are related to these people. Roots of the Choctaw, Mexican Gulf, where the migration began. Descendant. Okay, the Choctaws and Chickasaw descended from Mexico's earlier culture. Now, this is evidence enough of a Peruvian connection. You understand? You see the spiral mounds in Guachimato that I showed y'all earlier of Moray. Remember Moray? Moray and look, is it Moray Maras? We can easily see it right here, the same spiral structures. Now let's go back. Same spiral structures. Now we see what our stuff look like. Now we get an idea of what it looked like versus what they're telling us a mound. This is Tui Shetland, and we know Shetland means brown land. Shit means brown. Cuilco near Texoco. Miami means Maya, principal place. Miami, principal place. South Florida. The real Mayas did not arrive in Ouacatan until around 1000 AD. So we see it right here, and we know Imara Aymara, Bolivia, Quechua people, Mayans are all the same people. Now, some of the oldest, largest ethnicities in Mexico is the Otomi. This is where we're going to get that Potawatomi from. And this is what they're wiping out in America. Okay. Okay, so we see Muskogee right here. Map shows Tuckabachi. This is the Georgia militia, Chattahoochee River. Okay, now let's go and find it. I know I can find it for in this video. Huasho, stomp dance, doing a stomp dance. They also got a culture down there in Peru where they fight each other. Look, Chiapas, Guatemala, Chantal, Zoque, Mississauga, Totonac, Tesquita, Baya, Zapotec, Mexica, Hushi, Husi, descendants of Muskogee, and even Savannah, children of the sun. So Yaha, children of the sun. Okay, now let's go. Gaelic, Muskogee, from Gaelic, Latin, Gaelic, Chickasaw, Sweden. However, an astonishing number of Muskogee words are Indo-European from Gaelic. See, remember I told y'all about the Welsh. Remember I told y'all the Welsh and why African Americans have so many Welsh names. France, Latin, Gael. They're just coming over here calling it Spanish. They're over here calling it Spanish and French. No, we've already been talking this. Look at this. There are 6.5 pages of words whose root is Latin words for water. However, the Muskogee word for water comes from Atlantic Maritime Gaelic. Right? Do you see that? This is Muskogee. We've been had connection to over there with these languages. Okay. Creek migration. Men in black. Let me see. Related. I gotta keep going because there's no database. Look at this portrait living right here. Okay, architecture, mysteries. Let's go. Let's go for mysteries. Temple. Okay. Let me see. Older posts. Serpent, Laventa. A Georgia Creek. Spiral Mound up a mountain. Here it is right here. I found it. Here it is right here. The spiral mounds of a mountain. Now remember, I taught y'all about the Moray mounds in South America. Now let's go up in here and read this, and then we're gonna go. It's gonna break down Temple of the Sun Goddess Amana, the Nakucha. Yeah, okay, here it is right here. Now here it is, Hontoase, Temple of the Sun God Amana. Remember the Ammonites, and they got you thinking of some Egyptian nonsense when it was the goddesses over here. Look at that. May, Caroline, Port Caroline, offering Spanish Dutch, Altamaha River or Altamara, Calimaco, Nakuche, town of Tugalo. Let's go. Appalachia. Okay, here it is right here. Now, this right here, we can find it's called a Welsh. I forgot what it's called, but it's a Welsh symbol. I was just looking it up. The most interesting illustration, it was dedicated to the Appalachia. See, now you see why they got rid of the Appalachia Confederacy, because they had this sun energy. Look at that. It portrays a here where the mountain creeks joy the river. Look at this. Look at this. Sun Temple looked like a Spanish mission. Note that the temple has a device that attracts lightning. The priests in the temple knew how to focus sunlight in order to ignite a sacred fire in the inner sanctum. And this is the temple of Amana, of the so-called Nakuche. Now look at the Apalaki. Now look at that. You see that? The grave marker, this could be considered, I don't want to say Turk, but this is a symbol for the Sumerians. This little cross right here. Okay, let's go down. Let's get out of here. I want to go straight to the Peruvian proof. Cause this get real deep. I got this get deep, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back. Now this is the Kennemore Mound and Amana Temple, the Kennemore, and they're connected this with the sun god people of Central America. Sarcophagus, volcano, national mountain of Cuche, related. Okay, here it is, the Yuchi, Taurus, Rock Gap. This it right here, Rock Gap. I remember. We're looking for the petroglyphs. That's what I'm looking for. Let's go by the petroglyphs. Seeing the petroglyph ruin. This it, right? This might not be it, but I know where it at. What I'm looking for. The petroglyphs. Let's go by. Let me see. Where is it at? Petroglyphs. I just seen this somewhere. Okay, I just seen it. I know I seen them petroglyphs somewhere. Right here, bam. Now the petroglyphs, here it is right here, boy. Like I told you, I know it took me a minute. I said it took me a minute, but I was gonna show y'all the proof of the Peruvian connection to show you why brother Bolivar and brother Camejo Pedro is up here, even in Georgia, in Florida, and why we have this Latin Moorish people here. Thank goodness, excuse me, for these archaeologists that expose all of this. A lot of this information of the Appalachians, where we get the word Apollo from. The secret history of Kurahi, Kulawi, Kalasaya, and Judicula. And remember, Judicala is an old fable of some old Judas Rome in America. Now look at these old symbols. The Haitians, the Haitians still use these symbols in Haiti. They are destroying these aboriginals and their culture. Petroglyphs from both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. Petroglyphs, Scandinavian Bronze Age, hot spring boat. Petroglyphs, Truck Rock Gap. Petroglyphs. Now let's go and look at them first before we even go into the Peru proof when they actually talk about how Peru was in North America. Now look at the spirals. We see a lot of them complex spirals and solar wheels, meteor, a comet, stars for the navigators, leaving these symbols everywhere. Now look at that. Look at these symbols. Sweden. This is in Sweden, right? Where we're leaving these symbols. Now look at all of this. Look at all of this. Ireland, Iberia, North Georgia, Scotland, Shoal Creek, Emma, Calola, Georgia. You see this? Sweden, Northwest Georgia, Georgia Mountains, Chiapas, Mexico. See, a lot of people want to put all our stuff up in Mexico when Georgia got a lot of this stuff, man. Colorado got a lot of these symbols as well. Now look at this Tougaloo stone, southern Sweden. Look at that. This is the same stuff in America. Look, North Georgia, USA. And I told somebody on the video the other day, I told somebody that North Georgia, America has a lot of Mayan, what we would consider Mayan artifacts. And they didn't want to believe me. Now we see Galicia, Gal, Wales, all of that come from America. Look at all this ancient, great son or high king. Let's go back. Now let's go up in here. This is the actual article that breaks down through the petroglyphs and old information on Peru in America. So we see this right here. We see this old petroglyph game right here, and we see this in Europe. This is in America, y'all. This petroglyphs is in. This is in America. A glyph of them using this swinging device in America. Y'all have never seen that. Look at that. Okay. Which one of these locations is where the above petroglyphs are located? There's only one correct answer. The winner will receive a quart-sized Georgia Mountain blackberries from Alec Mountain. Guess where these where are located? Which which place? You got it right. Track Rock Gap, Georgia. That's where these petroglyphs are located. And look at that. The same. No, this is my. I take this back. This is a game in Mexico, and this is actually located in Sweden. These petroglyphs are located in Sweden, showing you the Americans how they been over there in Iberia. Okay, Atlantic connection, history of Georgia mountains, track rock from archaeological, notorious Baba Mountain lion. All the posts. Let me see if something else pop up. Okay, this it right here. I know for a fact this it because I remember the thumbnail. This is the actual story. Track Rock got Gap. Now look at that Koku Khan, Mako Henny. Look at all of this. Now this is Track Rock in Georgia with all these petroglyphs that they don't want y'all to know connected. I don't want to read all that CIA and stuff. Track Rock. We got to go up here to Track Rock, y'all. Now look at that. This is the same inscriptions. It's some Maya glyphs. Look at that. Maya priest Koku Khan found at Etowah Mounds. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna find that Peru. I don't think I'm gonna find that Peru source. I kind of read it. But I don't think I'm gonna find where it actually say Peru. But this is still enough proof that South America, Mexico, is up here. I just don't think I'm gonna find it. But this is good proof. Okay, Proto Mayas, petroglyphic sites, Proto Maya, Track Rock, Bronze Age, Alec Mountain, Ireland, Galicia, which are identical. Okay, the discovery chain. It also explains why we have so many stacked stone structures in North Georgia, which are identical to Bronze Age Scotland, Ireland, Galicia. Now we know why they're over here fighting. Now, sun god, winter solstice, elk or deer, solar calendar, great sun or high king. And remember, we find this great sun or high king. We find this on my glyph. On my discovery, let's go and find it. Let's go and look at it. Let's go and look at these same glyphs. Look, that same high king glyph right here. Look at it. Same high king glyph. Look at dude face right here up top. Look at his face. Now look at these three king faces, and we see this same glyph with the scissors and other glyphs. But we definitely can see the spirals, and we see that high king glyph. Let's go back. See it? It looks the same to me. Okay, Creek people. Now let's go back to the Istamaya. I'm gonna do the Istamaya and that's it. Where's the Istamaya? I know it's in here. They done their research on this one. I just want to show y'all proof that the Peruvians, was up here trading. Bubba Mountain. This gotta be it right here because this is Morlos in North Georgia. Topostolin, Forsyth, Petroglyph. This is near the races, what we call Forsyth, Georgia, where it's a lot of so-called races at. So-called racists living in Forsyth, and they don't want you out there. Now we know why they don't want you out there. Okay, here it is right here. What is this? Oh, this is Mexico City, Atlanta, Alejandra, hiking up the pyramid to Postec. You know, and I know the Peruvians. You know, and I know that the Peruvians are connected in this, even though I didn't show it, but all of this research, y'all gotta believe me, and I'm finna end this video. I'm gonna do a part 2 and let y'all comment. Thank y'all for coming out this late. This was a good video. But I still showed y'all Simon Bolivar and Bolivar Buckner, the Confederacy, and Metamora, Molina. I showed you the petroglyphs on both sides, the language, Mexico Maya, right? Right, Seminoles. This is we're definitely gonna do a part 2. What I'm gonna do is go in here and actually read where it mentions the Peru was trading, because I just don't feel like doing all that reading tonight. But I'm telling you, there is matter of fact, this is right here. Look at this. They show it. They show it. Tasquite. Man, this is so cold. I'm gonna have to start doing like little videos. The meaning of the word Muskogee. Man, I'm talking about they go in. I really don't want to end the video with so much. What is the Latin word for water doing in Muskogee? What is, let's go. Share screen. What is the Latin word for water doing in Muskogee? Because the Spanish Empire was the Moorish Empire, and you don't have no land patent in English. You know you don't have a land patent in English. It's all Britain. That's what we told y'all. Agiqua, Ayo, Alakua. All right, let's get out of here. I'm gonna end this video now. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna come back with the actual proof of the Peruvians and trading with the Muskogee. I appreciate y'all. Thumb up this video, and I'll be back to update y'all on my upcoming debate and more information is gonna get dropped. I got the website coming, and I got my partnership with brother Philip Bowman, Dr. Sebi's grandson. All that's coming in the next month. It's about to go down. After the debate, I'm going full force on everybody, but my voice can be heard. So those out here pushing the agenda of the elites, we're coming. Other than that, you know I got nothing but love for y'all. I got nothing but love. And y'all need to represent, man. I represent with PNF, the supreme conscious leader that put the pieces to the puzzle together for all us indigenous Americans.
It be so beautiful out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lorna drawing that divine creed.
Right.
We be in rotation. Damn, P-Glow.
You did that? Everything beautiful. My life would be lit, I be deep in this lit. It's a heavenly life, it's some tea in this is. Paradise living, we manifest heaven, so future and direct, it's the life that I live. Baby, if you wanna roll with a king, it's a beautiful thing when I summon your dreams. Deep on the scene like we shooting the scene. Baby, you see this the American dream. Alhamdulillah, Allah Akbar, I pray to Allah and I'm all about cream. Fuck nigga try me, a nigga go 90. See bitch, I'm almighty, get whooped by a lion. Bitch, I will fry you, get fuck about your title. I know you a bitch, cause I'm really a psychic. Right over left in the lane, yeah, I'm Maki. I draw the science, my third eye so cocky. On the side of my fence, yeah, I'm keeping it clean. Yeah, when I step on the scene, you know what it is. Yeah, when you see them colors, we look like machines. Yeah, see I'm in the land, indigenous king, a real chief. I stay low key, my third eye see. Yeah, I peep ya. Look at the sky as high as can be. Yeah, I see ya. I draw the 7 because it's a law with me. Yeah, you know